Good evening, ladies and gents. Right, let me just get the links shared out. Give me a sec. Now live for ProAm. Oh. Twitch.tv/CJW Racing. I think that's me. Let's just check. Right, I'll click it, and then if it brings me to my channel, yeah, there we go, we're live. Sweet. Alright, let me get that pasted in a few other groups. That's that one. And then CRT, they like to represent in here as well. Right. Chat. Let's get on chat. Connect to chat. So I can chat to you a lot. Big thanks to a few new followers. We've got we've got a few. Snav, Aldo, Taffy Dave, Melty on TTV as well. Thanks for the follows, guys. Appreciate it. Right, so a little bit of an intro to tonight. We are, of course, live for Mature Racing Club's Team Oliver Racing GT3 League. This is round 2 from Blue Moon Bay Infield A. Tonight's a little bit different to the race you saw last week from the Nürburgring, where it was an endurance race. This one is Taffy Dave. How you doing? Good luck tonight. Good luck to all the races indeed. So yeah, the format tonight is 2 races, a sprint and a feature race, as opposed to the flat out endurance challenge that you are no doubt used to. So rules are a little bit different for tonight as well. Race 1 follows a 15-minute qualifying session. Race 1 is going to be 19 laps. There's no real rules for this one in terms of tyres. The drivers can pit if they want, they can no stop if they want, they don't have to run 2 compounds of tyres. They can do anything they want, really. Race 2, where it starts to get a little bit complicated. Of course, as you know, it is the reverse grid race. The drivers only have 70 litres of fuel in the tank to start the race with, and they're going to be racing for 28 laps. On this one, they're not allowed to change their tyres before before the end of lap 7. They are allowed to pit before then, of course, to repair and are they? Yeah, so they're allowed to repair damage, and they're allowed to add fuel. I'm sure they're allowed to add fuel, and they've got to use 2 different compounds. Those can be any of the 3 compounds available, i.e. the soft, the medium and the hard, but they have to use 2 of them through the duration of that race. So that's the one where you tend to see the strategists come in. You have the inverted commas fast drivers fighting their way through the back of the grid as well. Ooh, let me get me work stuff out of the way. There we go. Yeah, that's the one where it gets a little bit interesting, ladies and gents. With Blue Moon Bay as well, we'll see this during qualifying. Bit of a tyre killer. So the front right here takes a little bit of a kicking. Because you have 2 very long sweeping left-hand corners that, although they are banked to a degree, they still really lean on that front right tyre. So expect to see either tyre management or some interesting pit strategy come out of tonight. But we will see which one of the 2 actually happens. We're going to have a little bit of a tribute take place before now. We're going to get qualifying out of the way in just a moment, and as soon as qualifying's done, the drivers will be observing a lap of honour for the late Murray Walker and also for Sabine Schmidt, who passed away today. I will of course have a little bit of a chat about both of them when that time comes around to it. So here we go then, qualifying in the Pro-Am lobby. There is also a Pro lobby. That gets streamed over on YouTube by Dark Smoker. So if you're here for the Pro lobby, I'm afraid you're in the wrong place and you need to go and see Dark Smoker. He will take jolly good care of you, no doubt about it. Get that sorted. Demo. No surrender. No surrender for the CRT. Well, I'll tell you one thing your drivers don't do, mate, they don't surrender. That's not what they're all about, is it? Okay, who we got out tonight then, just while they get their outlaps out of the way? So we've got Diablo here in the Mustang. He had a bit of a shocker last time out. I'm pretty sure he was in the Pro lobby and he's come down to ProAm. Good demo, yeah, very good. Just busy, mate. I've been on earlies all week at work and I've spent all week getting used to this new Fanatec, and I've been out and bought a new wheel for it today as well, so I'm sort of committing myself financially, so it forces me to learn it. So here we've got Diablo in the Mustang, we've got Phil G out in the Honda, Britzberger in the Aston Martin, D-Dot in the Corvette, Sean in the McLaren, Lucky Bucky in the Mercedes, Roving Island in the Honda, Cutler in the Mercedes, Ace Killer aka Duco, he's in the Mercedes as well, Rob Scott in the Corvette, Buddy in the Buddy and Diablo must be sharing liveries, but they're in the Mustang as well. Sonic Racer, I don't know who Sonic Racer is actually, I'm not too sure, but he's in a Jag. And Gwyn, I actually met Gwyn and I sold him my old wheel and pedals. And he actually drives one of these cars in real life, so he should know. Oh, Britzberger's left the room. I didn't even know he was having some issues tonight. Yeah, he's actually rocking my old Thrustmaster stuff. It was nice to meet him the other day. He's got a real life Jag F-Type, the V8 one. It sounds delicious. Lucky sauce. Yeah, it's cost enough though, mate. CSL Elite, the Club Sport V3 pedals with the load cell, and I've been out and bought a McLaren GT3 wheel for it as well. So first of the time's about to come in. I was doing 105s in practice, so these guys might go a little bit faster. Phil G's first time 106.7. D-Dot on the softs. Now the Corvette isn't the best car for this circuit, despite it being an American muscle car. You'd figure it'd do well on an oval, but unfortunately it's just a bit too boaty for this track, so we will see how he gets on. Lucky Bucky out as well, he's done a 107.3. Sean 107.4 for him. Duco, what can Duco do? 107.2. Duco can do, put some P4. Diablo gets in the pits, so he's not going to set us a time yet. Buddy sets a 106.6, so original pole for Buddy. Cutler put himself in P2 with a 106.6 as well. Rob Scott snuck in a 106.8 in the Chevrolet. D-Dot 107.3 for him so far. Lucky Bucky on a 107.3 in the Mercedes. Yeah, we'll run through them anyway in just a moment. Click. Yes, Jay, listen. Yeah, anyway. If you need sound clips for like any like audio overlays, I'm your man. I can look after that. Yes, JRH, I'm going to need your tips on this McLaren rim because I've no idea how to configure it or anything. I've had a play on it though. It's good. It is nice. Yeah, so the TOR League then, because we run fuel depletion and tyre wear, that comes into play in qualifying as well. 15 minutes means that you can burn quite a lot of this fuel away in the qualifying session. Oh, Gwyn snuck in a 108.2 in the Jag. That's a good time. So you will see the times get progressively faster as the qualifying session moves on. So I rarely paid that much attention to qualifying in the early stages. As we see, Sean's binned it, but a 106.4, the McLaren, perfectly suited to this track, will go really well around here. MRC Buddy in a very boaty Mustang has to wring that thing's neck to get the best time out of it here. But you will see the short wheelbase cars will do well either in pace or in race trim because they can look after their tyres a little bit better, and they've just got that turning edge. So I don't think we've got any BMWs in here, but the BMWs go well here as well. That's what I drive typically. But you will see the guys that are in the McLarens, BMWs, they will go well here. I think we've only got one McLaren in the room. So it's going to be a case like Phil G in the Honda. That's a car that in the race trim, I think I tip the Hondas for a good result here, as well as the McLaren. Rob Scott though in a Chevrolet 106.5 on the soft tyre. So Rob Scott is going immediately very well in the early stages of qualifying, and these guys are only going to get faster as the session goes on. We're only a third of the way through. It's a short lap as well, so the drivers can fuel burn quite a lot during this session and still get those hot laps in towards the end of it. So do expect to see that. I'm going to put a little bit of a disclaimer out, by the way, tonight. I didn't really sleep that well last night. I had about 3 hours sleep. I'm not exaggerating, I genuinely did only have about 3 hours sleep. I've been at work all day. As soon as I finished work, I drove to like Tamworth and back to pick up and wheel. I'm exhausted, so I've got some caffeine here and I'm just going to power through this, but it's not going to be my finest work. I do apologise. So Sean's been in. He's currently your provisional pole sitter. Britsburger's back in the room. It's because Damo is because he was in the pits, mate. That's why. So whenever you go in the pits, for some reason GT Sport thinks, oh, your time's completely invalid, it throws you to the bottom. It's because he was getting damage fixed, so it chucks him in. I think so anyway. Like, it's put him back up there now. So Sean, of course, rocking the digital car culture livery. Very beautifully designed car, if I may say so, and certainly looks good going round this circuit tonight. So I'll get a little bit more excited about quali in a few minutes time, but we do have some good provisional times going through. 106.6s for Duco. The Mercedes as well. The Mercedes is, as I found out this season in a different league, the SimFX Infinity Decals GT Manufacturers Series, the Mercedes is the GT3 car is just a general good all-rounder. It can fuel save pretty well, doesn't absolutely murder its tyres. It's not the best at any track, but you're competitive pretty much at every track in a Mercedes, so it tends to be a very wise call. Tracks like the McLaren, really good at tracks like this, where that corner speed's really important. And obviously it can save its tyres really well. Tracks like the Chevrolet are power tracks, same as the Mustang. These guys will have had to make some decisions while tuning the car for this particular track as to what sort of angle they want to go at. So how much downforce do you want to run? Do you go for a high downforce setting, sacrifice a little bit of that straight line speed just to get the turning and the front end pointing where you need it to point? Love a McLaren. Yeah, man. Oh, mate, I actually enjoyed being parked behind you, James, because I could hear it. We've got one of the Jags getting it wrong in the back. Roving Ireland's in the room as well. Looks like Britsburger's out. He's got some engine damage in the Aston Martin. Yeah, that McLaren F1 sounds godlike. Have you noticed the daily race is that exact track, mate? The daily race this week is that exact one. Thank you for following K10 MP3 N603R. I'm just going to call you K10 if you don't mind. Thanks for the follow. Right, we're approaching the time where I'm going to start getting excited about qualifying. Because at the minute, these guys are just doing banker laps now. The softs, if you really push on them, as you can see the guys now, they are pushing on these cars. One of the Mustangs was sideways there. It was Diablo because he got damaged. Yeah, they are. I don't know why Cutler's adding fuel. What are you doing? You don't need fuel. Yeah, so these guys will have been burning away. They've got rid, most drivers have got rid of at least a third of the tank. Now that is equivalent to 30-40 kilos, which in a stripped out GT3 race car, you notice that, especially in corners. Duco then with a provisional pole time of a 106.1. That's a very good time in a Mercedes. Just pipped Sean by just over a tenth of a second on a 106.2. Sean will of course be looking to change that. The McLaren is well poised in here to not only do well in the race, not only do well in qualifying, but do well in the race as well. I think Duco will have a little bit more of a concern specifically with tyre management in the race. Phil G in the Honda, again, this will come to him in the race, I think. We'll of course see how that goes. Rob Scott in the Chevy. Another beautiful looking car. He's going to go for another hot lap now. With 5 minutes to go with this qualifying session, let's have a little bit of a rundown of the order so far. So on provisional pole is Duco on a 106.1 in the Mercedes. Sean in the McLaren, 106.2 is P2 so far. Phil G on a 106.5. Does he improve this time round? He's about to set another lap. Just shy actually. Rob Scott in the Mercedes, 106.5 for him as well, so very close between third and fourth. Less than 100th behind those is Buddy. Again, he's really pushing that car because he's smashed it to bits now. But a 106.6 for Buddy in a Mustang. Cutler then in a Mercedes, 106.6 for him as well, so it's exceptionally close in qualifying. A couple of hundredths of a second separate most of these drivers. Then Diablo in the Mustang, 106.8 for him. Lucky Bucky, 106.9 for Lucky Bucky in a Mercedes. Then we've got D-Dot out there in a Chevrolet, 107.8 for him. He'll probably be coming in to get those tyres changed, but he's burnt a lot of fuel away, so that's going to help him later on. Sonic Racer, 107.6 for him. He's in a Jag. Fresh tyres on board. Gwyn then in the Jag, 107.7, P11 for Gwyn so far. Oh, just knocked down to P12. Someone has improved. He's in a big train of cars right now. If I was him, I'd just get myself out of there. You don't need to be in a train of cars. Roving Island, 108.5 for Roving Island. He had a superb race at Nürburgring last time. Again, I think a car that the race will just come to him later on. Who was it that improved? It was Rob Scott that improved in the Mercedes. 106. Sorry, not in the Mercedes, in the Chevrolet. 106.1 for him then on lap 9. The guys now, if they're not coming in to get a final set of tyres now, they're going to run out of time to do so. So we might see some cars just peel in this lap. If they're not on a good lap this time round, they'll probably peel themselves in and get some fresh tyres. That's what Rob's doing. Duco is carrying on, but those tyres aren't too bad on that Mercedes, so he's probably fine to carry on. Sean's in the pits. He's been in there a while. Why are you missing it, JRH? I'm asking somewhat obvious questions. I'm guessing you are busy, but yeah, any particular reason? Down for the Count, my man. Go and follow Down for the Count on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. It's D4TC Sim Racing. He's just started his commentary journey. He commentated on over one of my races last night. He's an excellent commentator. Has a lot more energy than me. Him and D-Dot. I don't know how they do it. Like, they've just got energy to burn. I'm freaking exhausted, boys. I'm not gonna lie. So tonight's not gonna be a classic. But yeah, go and follow Down for the Count over on YouTube. I don't know if you do anything on Twitch, so I'm just shouting out your YouTube instead, dude. Oi oi! I'm alright, Johnny. It was good to meet you the other week, mate. Oh, Duco has killed his car. I don't think he's going to have time to get in, fix that and get out for another lap. So Duco's 106.1 is probably going to have to be his best so far. Yeah, he's not going to have time now. Rob Scott, he's going for it now. This is his last chance as well. 106.1 to beat for him. Sean then in the McLaren, he's on an out lap now. We will get around in time to set one final go at it, but he's carrying quite a lot of fuel on board that car. MRC Buddy, 106.4 is his best so far. That is a very good time in a Mustang. Phil G in the Honda. He's got some tyre wear on that car, so he'll struggle to improve on a 106.4. Proves me wrong almost immediately by setting a personal best sector, but to be brutally honest, the sector where he's going to struggle is coming up. Diablo improves 106.5, shaves 2 tenths off his time, puts him in 6. Cutler then, does he improve on his 106 point something? He does. He shaves half a tenth off that, but it's not enough to leapfrog him ahead of Diablo, I'm afraid. Britisberger was having difficulties. 106.7. I don't think he's going to get out to set another one. Lucky Bucky might have just crossed the line a little bit too late. D-Dot 107.0 stands for him. Sonic Racer 107.4. Best time for him so far, Gwyn 107.5 for him, and Roving Island 108.3. Did improve right at the very end. Let's keep an eye though on Rob Scott and Sean. These are the two drivers that I'm expecting to... Sean actually goes purple, best of everyone so far, sector 1, personal best sector 2. He will have time to finish this, avoids the wall on the exit. He did start this lap in time, so he will get to finish it. He started it way before the 15 minutes was up. And he does improve 106.1, but it isn't enough. 5 thousandths of a second separate P2 and P3 then. Right at the end of this qualifying session. Hottest Johnny about. Definitely, all agree. Yeah, just YouTube, fair enough. But yeah, definitely worth going to give Down for the Count a little bit of a subscription over on YouTube. It's a free thing. Just head on over there. Feel free to put your channel link in the chat, Down for the Count, if you can. I can't because I'm too busy. But drop your link in there and everyone go and drop him a subscription. It's completely free of charge to do that, and it will support his channel. Are there any more Johnnies? So, someone's going to clip that, aren't they? Me saying, are there any more Johnnies? Right, ladies and gents, I am just going to ignore chat for this qualifying lap. Purely on the basis of I've got some notes up on another screen that I need to be talking about. Okay. So you will no doubt be aware that on the 13th of March this year we lost motorsport commentator, journalist, hero, legends, Murray Walker. Murray was the commentator for Formula 1 between 1976 and 1996, and then later did it for ITV between 1997 and 2001. Murray Walker, famous for his Murrayisms, and had a bit more of an eccentric commentary style than anything else. What were some of the things he said? He was like, that car is unique, apart from the one behind it, which is identical. That car is in perfect condition other than the fact that it's on fire. Things like that. I personally grew up listening to Murray Walker. He is partially responsible for getting me into motorsport, and you know, he is absolutely dearly missed. Some of you may or may not know that Murray actually served in the British Army between 1942 and 1946, reaching the rank of captain in the 4th Armoured Brigade, and actually served in the Battle of Reichswald as well. Credit is Wikipedia. So yeah, Murray Walker, rest in peace. Absolute brilliant man. I know some of the guys are sporting Murray Walker decals on their cars tonight. With regards to Sabine Smits, Sabine, we lost today. Most will know her as I can beat that time in a van. That's a terrible German accent, I'm so sorry. The segment on YouTube where Jeremy drove a Jag X-Type, I think it was, and tried to get an under 10 minute lap time. Sabine basically pretty much matched his time in a clapped out transit van. Yeah, Sabine, known as Queen of the Nürburgring, was a very successful race driver. She did quite a lot of races in I think it was Chevrolets, BMWs and Porsches at the Nürburgring in 24-hour races, and then she was obviously a presenter over on Top Gear as well quite recently. So wherever you know them from, however you know them, whatever impacts they had in your motorsport sort of life, I guess, or how you follow it, no doubt at some point, you know, we've all had some sort of input with Sabine and Murray. I know for me, when the news broke, I was absolutely gutted, and then I was at work today when the news broke about Sabine as well, and equally devastated, because she was very young. I think she was only 50 years old. Lost a battle to cancer. So yeah, it's extremely good that we've lost both of these absolute icons of the sport we love, and the drivers here in the Shore Racing Club Team Oliver Racing GT3 League just paying their respects. A lap of honour is something that racing drivers and sim racers alike do, and this is their way of saying thank you for the time and the efforts and the work they did. And a lot of these guys, getting them involved in this whole thing in the first place and upping the enthusiasm, and now we're going to burn some rubber in honour of Murray Walker and Sabine Schmidt. This may seem very childish, but again, it's well, it is childish. Boxer passed away. Yeah, who was it now? Was it a Hagler or was it her? I can't remember now. Yeah, sorry if I missed any chats. I've literally just logged back into my chat, so anything that you said when the lap started right up until now, I probably won't have seen it. Hagler, thought it was, yeah. Hagler v Hearns, mate. If you've not seen that fight, go and watch it. It's one of the best fights. Those of you that know me know I do boxing. Hagler v Hearns, beautiful, beautiful fight. Definitely go watch it. So yeah, we've lost a lot of brilliant people, and as Darren correctly said, he went the same day as Murray. Okay, so here we go then. 19 laps. The drivers are all away well. The Mustang's got a little bit bogged down. The Mercedes of Lucky Bucky, I think it was, has got an absolutely flying start. He's all the way up to P5 already, but leading us into turn 1 then is Duco. Gets a great start in that Mercedes, being followed around by Rob Scott, who goes a little bit wide there down into turn 1 for the first time. Phil G in the Honda's got a good start, he's up to P3. Cutler in the Mercedes getting a little bit swamped, he's going side by side with Lucky Bucky. Keep it clean, boys. I think that was Buddy off in the background in the Mustang, so he'll have dirty tyres to contend with for a little bit. Lucky Bucky and Cutler need to resolve your differences because Sean is coming for you. That McLaren did get a great start, down to 6th, but that McLaren should come alive in the race, and we do know that Sean has seemingly ascended to another level in his driving recently. He's driving really well. Gwyn though in the Jag up to P8. So a good start for Gwyn. D.9th, Diablo 10th, Sonic Racer 11th and Roving Island 12th at the minute, but leading us round the final corner for the first time of asking is Duco, but there's a good battle coming out behind him between Phil G, Cutler, Rob Scott and Lucky Bucky's not too far behind that as well. They are getting maximum suck down the main straight as Cutler's actually going for the move here down on Phil G down the inside. The Mercedes does have the grunt in the straight line, but the Honda will have the cornering abilities. We just jump on board Phil. You can see now just how much extra pace that Honda is able to carry through the corners, but if you can't get past on the corner, it's wasted space really. So Cutler with a bit of a masterstroke getting past there on the straight. Thanks for following ASG 87 and Clyde 2021. Thank you both very much for supporting the stream. What have we got going on there? We have got Buddy defending away to, Sean defending away to Diablo. But Sean was trying to get moves made on Buddy then, trying to close that gap. We've got Gwyn in 9th. He's got the other Jag of Sonic Racer in 10th. Behind him, D.Dot in 11th and Roving Island 12th. But it's all about this one at the minute. Duco, he's got clear air. Now it just boils down to strategy. I don't think they can, unless the fuel save, I don't think they can do 19 laps on a tank. So I would fully expect to see pit stops. So it's how they manage the fuel then, that will save them time in the pits. But there's this battle going on now between Phil G. Phil's trying to defend away then to the Mercedes and the Corvette. Now Phil G's going to be a bit of a sitting duck in a straight line. This Cutler just runs it a little bit wide there. So yeah, in a straight line, Phil is an absolute sitting duck as Lucky Bucky looks to get the moves made on him. Phil good enough in the corner zone, just gets that Honda nicely tucked in. Lucky Bucky is otherwise engaged with Rob Scott, who has the inside line. Rob can just get that move made. Oh, Rob just does tag Phil G, I think. I think that was a little bit of a tag for Phil. When will Phil's look change? Seriously, we just jump on board with Phil. We're looking at the replay then. So watch for Rob Scott. He gets a great line into the corner, and there is just a little bit of a tap on the rear end for Phil, which turns him round. He was already loading that tyre anyway, and unfortunately that's put Phil right at the back on the medium tyres. That's kind of his stint over for the time being, I'm afraid. Let's concentrate on the action though. Cutler running away a little bit from the fight behind, which is between Lucky Bucky and Buddy now that Phil G's out of the picture. Sean doing a great job in P5 holding off. Now the reason why I say it's a great job, Sean's car is pretty much OP until it gets on a straight line, and then it's a sitting duck. It's like the Honda in the terms of it just doesn't have the straight up power of the cars that are chasing it down. So the fact that he needs a slipstream of Buddy. Gets a great line through there, gets on the power nice and early, does Sean. So 4 tenths is the gap to Rob Scott. Rob actually got a really poor exit out of that final corner. So Sean actually, yeah, but you can see it's pulling him back in now. But I think Rob did make a mistake. In fact, he did, because Diablo is past Rob Scott, and the Mustang is through. So the American Grunt, the Battle of the American Grunt is leading the way. We've got D-Dot up to 8th then, with the unfortunate actions for Phil G. So Sonic Racer has got heavy damage. Unfortunately, so has Gwyn. I don't think we're going to see what happened to him. No, it happened earlier on in the lap. I'm sure you boys are happy that I didn't cover that. We do have a Mercedes 1-2 out front though, and how often were we going to be saying that in the Formula 1 this season? Between Duco and Cutler, it's going to be a strategy game between these boys now. How well can they save their tyres, specifically that front right, and if they can save any fuel during this first stint as well, because I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty confident they're going to have to pit. We'll see. They might not. I mean, I think if you fuel save, you might be okay, but it's can you fuel save to that degree? And do you really want to take a set of softs 19 laps? We'll see. Race 1's my opportunity to do my research on strategy for race 2. Meanwhile, we've got Sean trying to put the moves on the Mustang. Has to back out of this move. But this is the part of the track where the McLaren can just carry more apex speed than the Mustang can. Sean actually not maximising the corner at that point, does let Rob Scott catch up to him a little bit. I'm going to stop going on board with Sean, because every time I do, he makes a little bit of a mistake. So D-Dot's then's got a little bit of damage. So the Chevrolet team, oh, we've got Sean was, what's going on here? What's going on here, Rob? Did I miss something? Right, so Rob's got damage as well. Oh, we could, yeah, both drivers just got it wrong on the braking, and then Rob just yeah. He waits though, fair play, like he waits. I just don't think Rob was expecting Sean to also make a mistake into that corner, and it just caught him off guard. But fair play to Rob Scott, he waited, like, what more can you expect? But the Chevrolet team are going to be busy in the pits, if he does pit indeed, because they're going to have to fix a front left suspension strut on that car. Let's have a quick damage check throughout the field. So Duco completely damage free. 3/4 of a tank of fuel, tyres looking in okay shape. Cutler doing a little bit better on his tyres. He is known as the tyre whisperer, of course. So he's taking good care of those tyres. Lucky Bucky using a little bit more fuel, but we have got a Mercedes 1-2-3 now. But Lucky Bucky currently running well in P3, but he's been chased down by MRC Buddy though. MRC Buddy does have a little bit of damage to that front left suspension, and it looks like there's a little bit of damage to the front splitter of that as well. Now that's important here because you need the front downforce, especially through sectors 2 and 3. But he does have the grunt though down the main straight, and MRC Buddy's going to go for that third position. But that damage that he's carrying on that car is going to affect his speed through this corner. It's just not going to be able to carry the same sort of speed as the Mercedes, and the Mercedes can just swing around the outside. Lucky Bucky, with great defensive driving, was acutely aware that he just had better cornering speed than the car behind him. Diablo, so it is now a Mustang battle for 4th. Diablo from Australia, it's like 7 AM where he is at the minute, and he wakes up stupidly early just to come and race with us, so credit to Diablo for doing that. Is he putting the moves on his Ford teammate? No, he's not. As we mentioned, a little bit of damage on Bob Scott's car, a little bit of damage on D-Dot's car, so the Chevrolet's not faring very well. Hopefully the Chevrolet guys did bring lots of spare parts with them. We've seen the 2 Jags have also been in for damage as well, so the Jaguar mechanics have also been busy in the opening stages of this first sprint race. We are about halfway through race 1. This now will give us a good idea of whether people have saved enough fuel. So we're just under the halfway mark, so we're looking for anyone with over half a tank of fuel and where the tyres are. So Lucky Bucky and Buddy probably on the fringes. D-Dot needs to probably fuel save a little bit. Yeah, I think they can go without stopping for fuel, you know. It's just going to be a case of the tyres. Like, if you compare Cutler's tyres to everyone else's, because Cutler's really good at his tyre saving, that front right is looking nice for Cutler, and for Lucky Bucky it's looking a little bit second hand. In fact, he goes a little bit deep, almost invites a move for MRC Buddy. If we just jump on board with Diablo gets a great run out of that final corner. Of course, now it's all about the slipstream, so Diablo's going to want the slipstream of that Mercedes unless he can get past it, because without the slipstream, as MRC Buddy dives into the pits. Did he have damage? Did he indeed have damage? No, yes he did. So he might be feeling he's losing too much time with that damage. So yeah, Diablo now up to 3rd, Lucky Bucky down to 4th, but will be better than the Mustang in this middle sector. Bucky's starting to lose a little bit of time on those tyres now. Sean, I said the race is coming to him, he's on the mediums. That's why he's a little bit slower overall, but I think he could have, you know, got away with softs, you know. Phil G's also out on mediums now. I don't think he's pitted, you know. I think he's been on mediums from the start, and I've just completely missed it because I've not been looking. But yeah, the medium tyres lose you about there or thereabouts, 3/4 of a second. But they don't wear down. D-Dot's been in the pits for new rubber as well. Have we lost a driver? Have we lost Britsberger? I think we have. So in terms of the battle for the lead, that is also going to come down to tyre wear, because Cutler's done albeit a better job of looking after his tyres than Juco has, and because of that his times aren't dropping off anywhere near as much as Juco's are. So he's brought that 2-second gap down now towards the 1 second mark. There are gaps now between most other cars on track because different strategies are starting to play out. I do have a feeling most drivers are going to try and stretch out a no stop if they can get away with it. But now there is a good battle coming on between the 2 Mercedes. It is Hamilton v Bottas, and once Juco's done killing our cameraman, Cutler indeed is inviting himself down the inside, down into turn 1. Now has to be nice and easy on the brake. So does Juco go straight back at him? Now he's going to have to just tuck in for the time being, so that he's cut the lead in the race now. Now Juko's got to contend with one thing that he hasn't contended with for the previous 11 laps, and that's dirty air. He's not been tucked behind another car. And now when you are behind a GT3 car, that big gigantic rear wing on that car ahead of Juko now is throwing off a lot of dirty air. It's great in a straight line because it means you're not dealing with turbulent air, you're not dealing with you know, the drag of air in front of you. But through corners it gives you understeer being behind another car, and you can see that's dropping him off already off the back of Cutler. A little bit further back we've got Diablo running in P3. He's still being chased down by Lucky Bucky though. Lucky Bucky's tyres are starting to look a little bit ropey. He is now at risk of being caught by Sean in the McLaren, whose tyres are fresh. Sean can lap 107s pretty much consistent, I would estimate, for the entire race. He might have the odd drop off here and there, but I reckon 107s, 108s for Sean guaranteed. Rob Scott's still carrying that damage, so the Chevrolet team have not asked him to come in and get that damage fixed. He feels he can carry on with it. Indeed, if he's doing 108s with the damage, he might as well. Phil G, who was sort of spun around earlier, basically he's 7th, but doing 107s, 6 seconds away from Rob, up in P6. MRC Buddy, who's pitted, fastest lap of the race for MRC Buddy so far, 106.3. He's now out on the soft tyres and he's going cut in the grass. You don't want to be giving yourself any more damage, mate. So Sean then has managed to catch up to Lucky Bucky. So the Digital Car Culture team gets a little bit of a slide on coming out of that final corner. That's going to potentially drop him out of the slipstream that he was hoping to get. Time is on Sean's side though. He has another 6 laps or so to catch the Mercedes ahead of him. Now, although the Mercedes in a straight line, he's going to be superior. If he gets that slipstream, it's not really going to matter, and the McLaren is just going to be so much more sorted through this more twisty infield section. Just ride on board with Sean for a moment there, nice and steady. He's patient on the throttle. He knows that he's running. In fact, he even pops out of the slipstream there just to get downforce for the turn-in. So Sean isn't rushing this. He's nice and patient. As we see Lucky Bucky go deep, that's the tyre wear affecting Lucky Bucky now. Sean, again, nice and patient. He's not rushing this. He doesn't have to. I am liking Sean's patient driving style, I've got to be honest. I mean, if I'm being a critic, it's bringing Rob Scott into the equation. But I think once Sean's past Lucky Bucky, he doesn't have to worry about Rob, because Rob will struggle to overtake Lucky Bucky with the tyres he's got. So a sentence I hopefully hear in F1 this season is that a McLaren overtakes a Mercedes, and that's exactly what's happened here at Blue Moon, as we see Sean get up the inside of Lucky Bucky and up into P4. Diablo is 3 seconds up the road. Could Sean do anything about the Mustang ahead? The Mustang is lapping in the low 108s, so if Sean can now just get on with it, he might be able to catch the Mustang as his tyres start to go off. We'll see, of course, we'll see. The Mercedes 1-2, Bottas and Hamilton, they're still dueling away, but there is a bit of a gap between them. The good news, I guess, for these two is, as in the Formula 1, and they've got an almost insurmountable lead over pretty much everyone else in the field now, as the Ford of Diablo. It has the gun, it has the power, but it doesn't have the tyres, and Bono, my tyres are gone. Well and truly, these guys are just struggling now to keep up with the 2 Mercedes up ahead, who are doing, I've got to be said, a great job of just managing the pace so far. Juko, even though his tyres are gone, he's still lapping good consistent times. Credit to him with tyres like that, I've got to be honest. I've driven a Merc on absolutely shag tyres and it does not feel good. terms of Sean v Diablo, I've got to be brutally honest, Sean's not really reducing that gap as much as he really needs to be. Lucky Bucky is now starting to come under a little bit of pressure from Rob Scott, so we will of course see if Rob can do anything about it. Phil G, what's happened to Phil? He's had a bad lap somewhere. His lap 14 was a 36, so he's had a bad one somewhere as Phil G. I don't know if he's pitted again, and Phil might just now go for the fastest lap. He may do indeed. While I'm looking at Phil G's car, I'm going to point out some very special decals that he's rocking tonight. You may notice these on some other cars. If you look under the rear wing, you'll see the We Are Driven Foundation sticker, and you'll also see those stickers plastered over the car as well. That is a new initiative created by a whole bunch of sim racing groups that we've all come together in order to serve a purpose larger than any one of us. That is helping charities, helping individuals, raising awareness, raising funds, of course, if we can, and creating unity between the sim racing groups. We're a competitive bunch of people. As Marty will tell you in the chat, he's commentated on enough team versus team events to know how competitive we all can be. If he's still in here, yes, our Idol as well, he'll tell you exactly how competitive these team versus teams are. But one thing I will say is, when it comes to serving a good cause, I don't think many people do it better than the sim racing community. We do really come together in these causes. I'm just going to keep an eye on this battle then. Look at Lucky Bucky. Lucky Bucky's tyres are absolutely demolished. When it comes to something like this, we do all come together and, you know, we'll unite. We created this foundation, which you're welcome to join. There's a Facebook link available, which in the intermission I'll try and drop in the chat. As Rob Scott goes for a move on Lucky Bucky. Bucky's just going to really struggle any left-hand turn. Lucky Bucky's really going to have a hard time managing. You just see, it just doesn't grip. There's no rotation on the front end of that car anymore. He's going to really struggle to. Is the contact? Was the contact? Or did Lucky Bucky lose that one all by himself? I've got a feeling Lucky Bucky might have just been sliding before there was contact there. You know, but we'll jump on board with him and have a look. Tyres are screaming in agony. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I didn't hear any. From my perspective, and I'm gonna say I'm impartial in all this. I heard the tyre squeal before I heard the contact, which leads me to believe that Lucky Bucky got a bit of a slide on, but who knows? So while Cutler and Juco are on their final lap, Diablo has started his. We'll have a quick rundown. So Cutler is leading the race now, 1 lap to go. Juco P2, Diablo is P3, Rob Scott is 4th, Lucky Bucky 5th, Sean down in 6th. Sorry Sean, you've had an incident and I've missed it. MRC Buddy is in 7th, D-Dot in 8th. Good result for D-Dot, mate. He wasn't expecting much out of this. Phil G in 10th. When will Phil get good luck? He has got the fastest lap though, 106.2. Roving Ireland in 10th, Sonic Racer in 11th, and Gwyn is 12th. That's your grid order. As we come around the final corner then for Cutler. An exceptional race for Cutler. His tyre saving abilities have delivered a race win pretty much every lap in the 107s. Standing ovation for Cutler. Juco though also did a phenomenal job of managing his pace. Diablo in a Mustang grabs 3rd. Rob Scott in the Chevy carried damage throughout the entirety of the race. Grabs 4th. Lucky Bucky 5th. Sean in 6th. Sorry Sean, I don't know what happened to you. MRC Buddy in 7th. Then Phil G. I really feel for Phil in this one, but he's got redemption opportunities in the next race. He in the end was being chased down by my man D-Dot. He streams over on Facebook. You can go and check him out, of course. Roving Island 10th, Sonic Racer in 11th, and Gwyn has already finished in 12th position. So that's race 1. But wait, there's more. There's going to be a slight intermission and then a second longer feature race coming at you. Probably in about 10 minutes time. We'll probably start that about 9:30. Cheers Marty, thank you mate. Don't forget to drop your YouTube link in the comments if it lets you. It should let you, I've no reason to believe it won't. But please feel free to drop your link in the comments mate. I need a drink. Get some water. Yes, so indeed, well done to Cutler, Juco and Diablo. I'll just save the replay. So a confirmation on screen then of your race results. I don't need to read them out again. You know what the crack is. What I will say now though, for the feature race you're about to see, these top three, Cutler, Juco and Diablo, will all now carry success ballast. Now, success ballast is exactly as it sounds, it's just extra weight. So Cutler will carry more than Juco, Juco will carry a little bit more than Diablo. That is going to impact in a number of ways. So one, more weight, so it's a heavier car, it's going to be slower. That will impact on the tyre wear because you're pushing more weight into the tyre, and it'll impact the fuel use as well because you're dragging more fuel along with you. So those guys are going to have that to contend with, and they're starting at the back of the grid. Cheers Marty. Yep. So if you're watching this and you fancy checking out another Gran Turismo Sport YouTuber, does a lot of commentary, really good at it. I think he's just starting out. Please go and give him some support. He's dropped his channel link in the stream chat, so go and click that. If you're watching this on the YouTube replay, I will put his link in the description. I'll also link up Dark Smoker, D. and ESR Idol because I've seen him in the chat as well. So yeah, you can all have a link in the description. Why not? I'm in a giving mood. I'm in a good mood because I've got my new Fanatec McLaren wheel. I'm happy. No, Marty, honestly mate, it's absolutely no bother. We support each other. I know you said some nice things about me last night, so I'm returning the favour mate. So no need to thank me. Put it this way, Marty, if you were crap, I wouldn't shout you out. you know what I mean? I'd just ignore the fact. I'd just be like, oh yeah, he does some, but oh, I can't. For some reason, I can't find his link. I don't know where it's gone. But no, you're a good egg, dude. I watched your. I couldn't sleep last night, and it wasn't anything to do with the race. I've not been feeling very well lately, so I was actually watching the stream back this morning, like early hours. It was really good. Yeah, well, why lie? I'm not gonna lie. I've told people I don't like the streams before. And I expect people to tell me the same as well. I literally don't take. If someone turns around to me and says your comms are crap, I don't take offence. All I'd ask is be constructive with it. Like if there's something you didn't like, tell me what that was, so at least I know. But honestly, man, just why lie? Might as well be truthful about it. You know what I mean? Because if there was something in your commentary, Marty, that I didn't like, I'd probably just sling you an inbox and just say, I think you could work on this. That's all I'd do. A lot of it's experience as well, you know what I mean? Right, I think we're just waiting. Cutler normally puts a little message out to say what time the next race is going to start. And then we'll have race number 2 coming at you. Yeah, Marty, I mean, I'm certainly no authority on how good you are as a streamer. You know, I'm not like someone who feels he can go around critiquing other people, so I just don't do it. But I genuinely do enjoy your streams, right? Same for ESR Idol, Darren Baldwin, he's another good commentator. He's really picked it up a lot lately, as well as Darren Baldwin. So go and check him out as well. ESR Idol on YouTube. Sorry, is he Idol4 Gaming on YouTube? Go and show him some love, of course. And of course, it wouldn't be a Team Oliver Racing stream without me shouting out the sponsors. Team Oliver Racing. They are a real-life truck racing team. A few of us are hoping to actually get down to Donington Park and watch the trucks. So if anyone's up for a sim racing day out, we normally get ourselves there for the British GT and the trucks. So get yourselves down, come and meet a few of us. There's normally me, Potter, Dark Smoker, and a couple of others that come down for it. Duco will be there as well, probably. Yeah, get yourselves down. It's always a good laugh, and we just end up taking the mick out of each other for however long we're there. What else have I got to talk about? Yeah, of course, the We Are Driven initiative. I just want to thank Dave Robinson, SimFX, for doing pretty much immediately. He set up the group and he's made all the decals for it. Stephen Morrell from P1 Racing, I think it was pretty much his idea. He came up with it, and he's really like driven it as well. So Stephen has just got behind it 100% and has just pushed it every single step of the way. You'll have to give me a shout, let me know. Yeah, defo, man, defo. I think the British GT's like, I want to say July sometime. But yeah, I'll let you know. We'll post on the page anyway, on MRC. Yeah, he's a top lad, mate. He's a top lad. He's one of the bravest blokes I know as well. Like, literally, the guy's an actual soldier, and I'm not exaggerating. Balls of steel, that dude. Yeah, but he's literally just driven this charity initiative, and he's really pushing. Basically, the foundation will push charities and initiatives and fundraising, and he's actually pushing something called is it Archer's Journey at the minute. So let me actually just dip away from chat a sec. I'm just going back in the stream chat, and I'm looking for something very specific. You know what, I should have screenshot this. After work, try. Sorry, I'm just strolling back to see if I can find the details for this charity that they're pushing at the minute. Bradley Lowry Foundation, Archer's Journey. So I'm just going to copy the link into the chat. Give me just a second. So there's the link. I've just posted it in the stream chat. It will also be in the description on YouTube. That's something we're pushing at the moment, Archer's Journey, on the Bradley Lowry Foundation. Right, let me get back to my stream chat. So if you've commented like in the last 40 seconds I won't have seen it, I do apologise. It's the way I have to run my streams. I haven't got a proper setup like D does. I'm just a poor boy, spends all my money on Fanatec equipment. Right then, I best introduce the next race on that. So we've got 28 laps coming up. From the very same track, we're going to be flipping the results from the last race upside down, so the fast guys are going to be starting right from the back of the grid. The top 3 finishers, the podium finishers, are going to have success ballast. I'll probably mention that and keep an eye on their tyre wear and stuff as we go through. And no driver is allowed to change their tyres before the end of lap number 7. If they are, however, unfortunate enough to get damage before that, they can come in and repair damage. I think that's it. Let's get on track and have a look at some of the cars. Hopefully hopefully his internet behaves. I think Nathan's having some internet issues tonight. Nice to hear an Aston Martin fly around the track. So we've got Britsberger, we've got Duco. Duco's carrying that extra weight, don't forget. So is Cutler and so is Buddy. So they'll be out now. They'll be just getting used to how the car feels with the extra weight. It's noticeably different, I will tell you that, even with the 3rd place ballast, which isn't anywhere near as much as P1. You notice that extra weight, you really do. And it affects pretty much every aspect of how you navigate the car around the circuit as well. So, race number 2, 28 laps, Blue Moon Bay, infield A. Here we go. For round 2, Mature Racing Club's Team Oliver Racing GT3 League. Also got an all Jag front row. So watch out for the Hondas and the McLarens for getting a great start off the line. I'll jump to Phil G actually, because I get a decent look over all the field. The revs are rising, everyone gets away well. The Mercedes out of Lucky Bucky actually got a flying, but Lucky Bucky's really got his starts nailed down. He's already up to 6th. He's challenging Phil G on the outside, I think it is, or is it Sonic Racer? It's D-Dot that's coming under pressure actually from Lucky Bucky. As Gwyn makes an escape in the Jag from the start, he's already clearing off from Phil G. Oh, we've got a bunch of cars that go deep. D-Dot's one of them, so is Sean. Duco's trying to navigate his way through this pack. He's already up to P7, Buddy's up to P8. I don't think Cutler's having as much success down in 10th. A couple of cars already carrying damage. Phil G again goes for a move, but just... Oh no, and he's got damage as well. He just gets it wrong there with the hairpin. Oh my god, he's got full damage now as Phil G. And I think he might have collided with another car. Is this going to be a race restart because of the amount of accidents we've had on the first lap? I don't know. That is going to be a contentious issue, but we'll carry on and assume there isn't, because Gwyn is flying at the start here. He's absolutely nailing it away. He's 2.2 seconds ahead of Sonic Racer, who is a second ahead of Duco. Duco is the first of the cars carrying the success ballast. Britsberger 4th then, but Rob Scott in the Chevrolet gets himself up to P4, or does he? These guys are going side by side for that honour. We will of course go back and check, because there are a couple of cars in the pits with damage. We've got D-Dot. In fact, D-Dot's a car that I wanted to come to because he was involved in that absolute melee a lap or so ago. In fact, let's jump back to MRC Buddy. Oh, Buddy nudged the McLaren. Oh, that was just a little bit of a cluster. I don't know who started it, and I'm certainly not here to cast aspersions at anyone, but there was a bit of a cluster at that corner. Yes, anyway, so D-Dot running 6th ahead of Roving Island in the Honda. Roving Island on the mediums. Diablo, gets it a little bit wrong. Does Diablo in the Mustang. Then Cutler's down in 9th. Cutler's carrying damage, so is MRC Buddy. Lucky Bucky, he's pitted, so has Sean, and so has Phil G. Now don't forget, those guys have only been in to repair damage as we lose Britsberger from the lobby. Yeah, those guys have only been in to repair damage. They have not been in to change tyres. They were not allowed to. So they are still on the same tyres they started the race with. D-Dot then up to P5 now. We've got we've got, is that Phil again? Because he's getting lapped. He's getting lapped now, so he's having to get out of the way of everyone else. This is a start from hell for Phil G in the Honda. A track where, I'll be honest, I genuinely thought Phil would do quite well here, but he's had some just awful luck. I would definitely say the incident in race 1 wasn't his fault. Race 2, I don't know, I didn't really see it, I think I saw it late, so whether he just picked up a boot full of oversteer. He's coming into the pits again, he's Phil G. Is he? No, he's staying out, but he's staying low. Gwyn still leading the way in the Jag. It's a Jag 1-2. He's 1.4 seconds ahead of Sonic Racer, who's running the soft tyres. Both now running about half a tank of fuel. Juco's opted to go on the medium, so that's why he's immediately not catching up to these guys. He's on a slower tyre and he's got more weight on board that car as well. He's getting his slow tyre out of the way. He will of course probably want to extend this as long as he possibly can, so that he doesn't have to do as many laps on the soft tyre later on, and can of course go faster on that tyre as a result. Rob Scott also on the mediums, probably doing a similar thing to what Juco ahead is doing, but doesn't have success ballast. Diablo on the medium, so a lot of drivers choosing to take the medium tyre early on and get that slow tyre out of the way. So we see D-Dot give the wall a good old slap. Again, on the medium tyre is D-Dot, so he'll just be wanting to lap around really. Just get as many laps under his belt. So they did 19 laps, didn't they? You don't want to be doing any more than... So yeah, you want about a 10 lap stint on your mediums, I think. If not more, to be brutally honest. I don't think you want to be doing any more than 15 laps on a set of softs. Just because of how badly that front right gets it. Unless you're Cutler and you can take a set of tyres, like, literally no wear on those. None at all. I know the mediums, but literally no wear on them. A bit of damage for Cutler though, so both Cutler and Buddy, as Miggins joins the room. Why is Miggins here? I'm sure he's in the pro lobby. Yeah, so the rules, I dropped my controller and unfortunately the lid to my drink was down. Yeah, so the Mercedes and the Ford teams will have fresh parts ready for these cars when they come into the pit stops. Unfortunately, shouldn't take them too long to get those parts swapped out, and it's not affecting their times too much while they're there. Roving Island then in the Honda, doing a good job as he is. Now he's in a little bit of clear air, Roving Island, he can just start lapping around. We've got Sean, fastest lap of the race for Sean so far in the McLaren, 107.0. He of course was caught up in that melee in lap 1. 106.4 for Sean now, so yeah, that McLaren's really starting to wind up. Lucky Bucky, unfortunately in the opening stages of the race has been anything but lucky. P11 for him, 23 seconds off the leader, but the race hopefully will come to him. And Phil G, I just feel so bad for Phil. I genuinely do. As Sonic Racer's got some damage, Juco's just made a move on Gwyn. Did I catch that? Gwyn was obviously leading the race. So Juco's having to defend. Oh yeah, Gwyn goes just a little bit deep there. Rob Scott gets caught out as well, side by side between Juco and Gwyn. I think enough space was given between them all. But Gwyn is straight back ahead of the Mercedes. Good defensive driving there by Gwyn. I do know that Gwyn is getting used to new pedals as well. They do take some getting used to. And a new wheel with more force feedback. So hopefully he's getting on well with those. Bit of a flash of lights there from Juco. Either he's not happy about something or he's just saying let me through. Does indeed look like Gwyn obliges, to be fair. Oh, he gets a boot full of oversteer there coming out of the hairpin. That's going to let Rob Scott through. Indeed it does. Gwyn did manage to hold on to top spots for quite a way through the race, to be fair, and that early pace may stand him in good stead for the remainder of the race. You went deep. fair enough, mate. Yeah, I'm gutted for you. I'm absolutely gutted for you, dude. Yeah. I think almost as well because you had a car in the Honda that had a bit of a trick up its sleeve here. Like Sean at the minute, like he's on a set of softs and he's got less tyre wear on those tyres than some guys running mediums have got. We've got MRC Buddy. Some of these medium shod runners are getting rid of these tyres already. Buddy, D-Dot's doing it. So D-Dot might well go onto a set of soft tyres, fuel and go as long as he can. Is that what Buddy's done? Oh, Buddy, he's not. So Buddy here is ambitious strategy for MRC Buddy. Buddy's actually looks like he's going for the two-stop. Interesting chin stroking going on. And the reason I say this is GT Sport have pretty much doubled the amount of time it takes you to make a pit stop here. So it doesn't, or it now just means that making less pit stops is usually worth it. So interesting strategy. What does D-Dot do? D-Dot's gone the way I probably expected him to, which is now full tank of gas and see how far you can take it. Fastest lap. No, Sean's pipped you, mate. But you did get fastest lap. Yeah, you did get fastest lap in race 1. Why don't you come back out later? just sit there, revving the tits off the car for like 10 minutes and then just do a fast lap at the end. See if you get it. Anyway, I'm not giving Sonic Racer the coverage he deserves here, am I? Sonic Racer leading the way. Lap number 9 being chased down by Duco. Sonic Racer in the Jag got the lead of the race from Gwyn, who is now down in 4th. Still holds a good lead then over Duco in P2. Duco's coming under a little bit of pressure now from Rob Scott. Rob doesn't have that success ballast, don't forget. Gwyn coming under pressure from Diablo. Diablo from down under gets that move made up to P4. Cutler equally having a battle with Sean. Cutler, don't forget, carrying damage. So yeah, Cutler's on the medium, so Sean there, it's P6 now for Sean. His times are starting to go off a tiny bit, but it isn't enough for the alarm bells to start going off for him at all. 107's fine, no problem with 107's, mate. Absolutely good lap times to be doing. Same for Lucky Bucky, to be fair. And then we've got the weird contra strategies going off that I'm going to keep an eye on, buddy, see if that strategy works out for him. I've got to be honest, I have my doubts. 1 lap super lap. May have worked, you flew. Right, Sean's got the honours this one so far with 106.4, but there's plenty of time for that to change. We do have a lot of cars that are yet to indeed take the softs. Does Rob Scott go for a move here on Duco? He's going to have to go the long way around. I can tell you from experience the Chevrolet doesn't like the long way around, and indeed he's going to go for the cutback. Great move there by Rob Scott. That was a planned to perfection overtake there by Rob Scott. So Duco defends the inside. So Rob just keeps out wide, goes for that late apex, cuts the car back. You can hear him there, just gets the car under power a little bit later. And yeah, I mean, it takes two parties to be compliant in a move like that, and both Duco and Rob Scott were compliant in that. But a great move by the Chevrolet driver to get him up to P2, and he'll now want to put pressure on Sonic Racer to try and get the lead of the race before he has to pit. Because anyone who hasn't pitted yet, they're gonna have to come into the pits in the next couple of laps at least. So the pit window, I would say, is very much now open. They could all pit from lap 7, but I would imagine most will now start to peel in that are on the medium tyres. Cutler, he may extend it. He does like to do that, and then he likes to immediately prove me wrong. Oh no, he's extending. There he is. it's because the cameraman zooms in. So yeah, we've got some drivers in the pits now. Gwyn and Rob Scott both in the pits. Sonic Racer, Duco, Diablo all staying out, although I would probably expect them at least the Mustang in at the end of this lap. One to watch is the digital car culture car of Sean 2284. Sean is a driver that in my opinion has come on leaps and bounds in recent times. I was in the league when he started the league a couple of seasons ago. In fact, a fun fact for you, I designed his very first livery. He's now got this thing, which is a work of art, and his racing has just come on leaps and bounds. So much more consistency in his game than there used to be. He handles his tyre wear much better. He's got his tuning game strong. Really, really impressed with how far Sean has come in recent times, and he is now P4. Very solidly so as well. Probably saved a little bit more fuel than most cars up ahead have. Another one to potentially watch is Roving Island. His pace on the mediums hasn't been that strong, but he normally does go quite well on the softs. D-Dot's churned through that fuel. He might have to stop again. He's gone through a quarter of a tank in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 laps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's got 15 laps to go to stretch that. He's going to have to fuel save. If he wants to go to the end on that fuel, he's got to fuel save. Based on my quick maths. Right, so do these guys pit now? 108s, they're certainly doing good enough times to not have to. Sonic Racer, brilliant race for him so far. Duco, yeah, he's carrying ballast, but he's genuinely struggled to get past the Jag. Oh, as the Jag goes deep there, commentators curse there for Sonic Racer. Does Duco throw one down the inside? I don't think he will. No, he backs out of it. Sensible move for Duco. I think he's quite happy just parked behind the Jag, to be fair. He's not like the Jag's going slowly. They are being caught by Sean, but they've still got a 9-second gap. So, yeah, do they really care about that at this stage? Cutler, the tyre whisperer, has done a good job on the mediums. I'd expect him in this lap. He'll then run probably the remainder of the race on softs. The Mercedes mechanics, I can see them out in the pit lane. They're out there with a spare splitter and what looks to be a suspension upright, so I'd imagine that damage will get repaired this time round. Rob Scott, who has pitted, fresh softs for Rob, and is looking to get a move made on Roving Island's Honda. The Honda on mediums and low fuel just lets the Corvette through. You might as well. It's not worth fighting it. D-Dot as well near Diablo. Diablo goes very deep though. Is that inviting D-Dot on for a move? D-Dot now doing 107s. Very good lap times for a Corvette around here. So if he can do 107s for the remainder of the race, that's going to stand him in good stead. Because a lot of the cars up ahead of him won't be doing that towards the end of the race. Right, so Sonic Racer's pitted. That's handed Duco the lead of the race. He's really stretching this medium stint. I think he learned his lesson from the first race, to be fair, that he doesn't want to be doing that many laps on the soft tyres. So he's done a good job of stretching out those mediums. I'd imagine everyone who hasn't pitted to pit this lap, and then we'll see where everyone is. Buddy then, he's already pitted. He's got his mediums out of the way, I'm pretty sure he has. He will pit in a couple of laps time, and then he'll probably go to the end. Sonic Racer, who has led the race for the first 14 laps, well, not for the first 14 laps, but at the 14 lap point at least, now comes out onto the medium tyre, 3/4 of a tank of fuel. Is he going to try and stretch this one to the end? So Duco and Sean peel off into the pits. That's going to hand the race lead over to Buddy. That will be temporary. Buddy will pit, at which point I'd imagine Rob Scott will then assume the lead of the race. And then very soon we'll start to see what plans people have. So Duco out in third. Yeah, see what happens. I've just had a sudden wave of tiredness hit me. Ugh, sickening. I'm going to try and move on Sonic Racer. Now he goes deep instead. So we are past the halfway mark of the race. Let's have a little bit of a recap on where people stand then. So MRC Buddy leads the race, but he's going to have to pit very soon. He does hold the fastest lap of the race though. He's just going for what he hopes is a fast two-stop strategy. Where will he feed back out? So a pit stop costs you about 30 seconds there or thereabouts, so that'll feed him out around probably ahead of Gwyn if he pits this lap. Rob Scott P2 just done his fastest lap of the race at 106.5, so in the Chevy he's probably going to try and stretch this, to be fair. Duco third. Is he able to catch the car ahead? Don't forget Duco's carrying success ballast, so it's going to be a struggle for him to reel in the car ahead. But of course, in Duco we trust. Let's see if he can do anything about that. Diablo also going to the end in the Mustang. He's being chased down by Sonic Racer. Sonic Racer though is on the mediums, so not that I don't have faith in Sonic Racer's abilities, but on the mediums he might struggle to reel in a car on softs. Sean now out on the mediums as well. Again, I'll probably just go to the end. He does a really good job of looking after the tyres. There's under no threat from the car behind, which is Lucky Bucky. Lucky Bucky also now looks like he's going to the end of the race. We've got Gwyn probably going to the end of the race. P8 at the minute for Gwyn. Under no immediate threat from Cutler, but I think that threat is going to happen in the next, probably once we get to lap sort of 20. I'd imagine Cutler will be right on Gwyn's backside. D-Dot could also pick up that position as well. If he does as good of a job of looking after his tyres as I think he should, D-Dot might well pick up that position. Then Roving Island in 11th, he's chasing D-Dot down as well. So plenty still to happen in this. Buddy looks like he might have actually run out of fuel entering the pits. Did he? No, he literally ran out of fuel as he entered the pit. So that was timed to perfection then by MRC Buddy. So he'll stick 9 laps worth of fuel in that car and go at it again. Of course he'll have really fresh soft tyres, will MRC Buddy, so he's gonna be one to watch for picking up extra positions. Currently leading the race then is Rob Scott. 7 seconds ahead of Duco. Duco is 4 seconds ahead of Diablo. Sonic Racer's out in 4th on mediums. Could Sean catch him? Now the McLaren should have better race pace than the Jag. They're on the same tyres, similar fuel levels between the two of them, similar tyre wear I think. Yeah, they're pretty much carbon copies of each other. But I think on pace the McLaren will have it, so we'll see what happens with that. And then they've both got to be looking behind them for MRC Buddy, who will be coming at them thick and fast. That Ford Mustang has enough fuel to get to the end of the race and the freshest tyres of everybody, and he can really lean on these tyres now because they don't have to go as long. Lucky Bucky on the mediums probably can afford to lean on those tyres as well. He's doing a good job in 7th. Gwyn in 8th. In the Jag, getting a little bit more pressure now by Cutler. Cutler's reduced that deficit faster than I expected him to, and he may even be in slipstream range on this straight. 107.4 last time out for Cutler, so yeah, he did a really fast lap. This lap probably being the 107s for him as well. Yeah, 107.1. Gwyn is well aware he's there because he's trying to break the toe. You see how Gwyn was weaving around the track? That's that's basically you're not giving the driver behind you the clean air, the slipstream, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm really sorry, I'm struggling to get my words out now. So can Cutler get the move made on Gwyn? He can indeed, but runs it wide. Does Gwyn get the move made back? And the Jag, indeed, very much able to defend to Cutler, and gets that move solidified back on the hairpin. So good driving there by Gwyn. Maintains P8, but you can bet Cutler on the main straight will have another pop. Always Gwyn gets a boot full of oversteer, then coming out the hairpin. Manages to retain the position, but he's going to be so he hits the wall, and yeah, that's going to let Cutler through. I do want to go and have a look at that little battle they had though, because that was good to watch. So Gwyn seemed almost compliant in letting Cutler go through here, but then just got the cut back. Just got a really solid drive out of this corner, and yeah, just managed to drive past Cutler. So good driving by Gwyn, even though it did come undone for him a little bit later on. Let's check in on Sean. So Sean was chasing down Sonic Racer. This is going to explode then over the next couple of laps. So MRC Buddy set a fastest lap of the race so far, 106.1. Now if you're Sean, you don't fight Buddy, because there's no point. He's coming past you, he's on soft tyre, he's on fresh softs, and he's in a Mustang, so Sean will just let him go. But then you utilise the Mustang to get the Jaguar. Yeah, Sean backed out of that. Wise move, went wide. So Sean now will just tuck in behind MRC Buddy and utilise the fact that Buddy's now going to be slowing Sonic Racer down, because he's going to be going for that overtake. Sonic Racer's not going to give this up, of course. And yeah, Sean might try and get in on that action as well. Does MRC Buddy go for the move? He does. Good move by MRC Buddy. 2 cars in 2 corners. And Sean, as predicted, is getting in on the action as well. Sonic Racer feels he can defend to the McLaren. Holds it on the inside. Let's jump on board with Sean. Oh look, there's my wheel. Look, looks familiar. I've got that exact same one sat in front of me. There's so much weaving going on here, I forgot what's going on. Right then, does Sean go for the move down into turn 1? He peeks out. Sonic Racer has given him the room. Very fair, respectful racing between these two. That is Sean up to P5. Great overtake there by Sean. Let's just jump on board with McLaren and see how he made that happen. Looking forward would be helpful, Chris. Yep, so nice move by Sean, but again, credit to Sonic Racer for driving clean and expecting, driving with anticipation. Underrated skill that, being able to anticipate what someone else is doing, and he's performing that skill quite nicely. Let's see then if Buddy can catch Diablo. Diablo's in the 107s, maybe 108s now with that tyre wear. Let's see. 107.8, 106.3, so yeah, in a couple of laps it's going to be close, but Buddy may well be in striking distance of a podium finish here. Sean, I don't think there's enough time for Sean to get on the podium, but whatever, considering the guy was off the track lap 1, yeah, damn good result. Sonic Racer P6, maximum respect to Sonic Racer. He's done a fine job so far. He's under no risk from the car behind Lucky Bucky, who's 14 seconds behind him. Cutler then up to 8th. Cutler's doing a fine job. Can he catch Lucky Bucky? He's going about a second a lap faster. Mr. D-Dot, he streams all the way over on Facebook. He streams not only Gran Turismo but a lot of Call of Duty and first-person shooters and generally the fun stuff, and he's one of the most energetic people I've ever seen. So yeah, go and check him out on Facebook. Roving Islands, 10th for Roving Islands, just set his fastest lap of the race. But unfortunately, as for Gwyn, they're both out on their own at the minute. I think Gwyn's just been in for a set of racing hards. I don't think he knows that you don't have to use the hards in this one, but he's took a set of hards anyway. Never mind. Right then, so Buddy versus Diablo, Mustang v Mustang, soft tyre versus absolutely destroyed soft tyre. Let's see if Diablo can hold off Buddy. We've got a few laps left of this one, so if Diablo can do this, I'll be very, very, very impressed. And MRC Buddy already starting to put the pressure on the Australian ahead of him. Some absolutely sexy logos smashed all over these. We've only got Digital Car Culture on there. We've got my logo. We've got Team Oliver Racing. As they now go Ford drag race down the main straight, and Buddy's just, I think either Diablo might have backed out of that, or yeah, Buddy's just got that just on the fact he could get a better exit out of the last corner. So that's MRC Buddy up to third. He's not going to be able to get Duco, I'll be brutally honest, so I don't think Buddy can get second, but he can at least solidify third in the final couple of laps. Anything else that could happen on track? Cutler could catch Lucky Bucky. He'd need to really put his foot down because he's 2 seconds behind him with 2 laps to go. Could happen, very, very well could happen. Gwyn's just trying to stay out of the way then. Unfortunately getting a lap put on him, but I spoke to Gwyn in person when he came to pick the wheel up, and he's just getting into this league racing stuff. So as we saw with other races, they do get faster as the experience grows, because you just get to know what strategies work and how to set up cars and all that sort of stuff. So I'm sure we haven't seen the last of Gwyn. Right, so the lead lap is now lap number 27, so that signifies 2 laps to go. Cutler and Lucky Bucky is the battle to watch then. So the Mercedes versus Mercedes battle, 1.1 seconds between the two of them. This lap for Lucky Bucky is a 108.5, 107.3 for Cutler. So Cutler was 1.2 seconds faster that lap. And judging by Big Shack quick maths, he should be ahead and past by the time we cross the start-finish line for the checkered flag. But Lucky Bucky can defend. The problem for Lucky Bucky is on the medium tyres, so it's going to be a tall order. But in Bucky we trust. Of course, he's I've been racing with both of these guys actually in the Tanzo Nations Cup recently. The England team, we've been rotating the drivers. Oh, there's contact. What happened there for Lucky Bucky? As I get the worst camera angle in the world, Cutler wakes up, so I think Cutler feels like he might be responsible for that. Yeah, he does. So let me just jump on board with Cutler, see what happens. What I will say is both of these drivers are very clean, so if there was contact, it was accidental. So Bucky goes deep because he defended it. Yeah, Cutler was just carrying more, right? Because he was on soft tyres, he was just carrying a lot more speed through the corner. And yeah, Bucky just couldn't do that, so there was contact. But that might just leave Bucky in 7th then. But Rob Scott, I apologise, but you've been out in front by quite a margin for a lot of the race. Team Chevrolet will be dancing in the streets tonight as Rob Scott brings home the win in race number 2 tonight. Duco, double podium finish for Duco, a fantastic result for the Mercedes outfit. Came home with fuel to spare as well, so he could have gone even further up. MRC Buddy, great 2-stop strategy for the Ford outfit. Diablo brings home 4th. Sean for the McLaren team brings home a great result in 5th. Sonic Race, one of my drivers of the day, no doubt, in P6. Lucky Bucky is going to hold on to 7th, I think, just by the skin of his teeth. Cutler in P8. Of course, these two did have a coming together a lap before, but Cutler just let off because he felt responsible for the contact, so 7th and 8th for those. D-Dot in 9th, Roving Island in 10th, Gwyn 11th, and Phil G will be classified, I believe, in 12th. But all plaudits go to Rob Scott, Duco and MRC Buddy, as they are your podium finishers for race number 2 in the Team Oliver Racing GT3 League here at Blue Moon Bay. Phil, if you're watching, you might just need to come out of the pit. So, in fact, no, there's no point because you're not going to be able to get around anyway, so don't worry about it. We'll just have a little bit of a parade lap. Okay, right, so sorry, just something popped up in the group chat. Apparently the pro lobby had a little bit of a nightmare tonight with connection issues. I know Britsburger had issues as well. So yeah, we've had a great night of racing here at Blue Moon Bay Infield. Always does produce a good race because your strategy is important. There's different cars that are powerful here. If anyone in chat can tell me what track we go to next, would appreciate it. Cheers, Johnny. Not my best, mate, because I'm freaking exhausted, dude. Absolutely, like, to the point where I'm struggling to keep my eyes open. Not a stealing advertisement for my commentary services, but I do this shit for free, so who cares? I've got to be honest, I'm torn between my driver of the night. One of them's Duco, because of the way he managed this race. I think he did a great first race with Cutler, but the way he managed this one really impressed me. But I feel like I want to give it to Sonic Racer, because I know he came in last minute. He won't have really had any prep for this, so Sonic Racer's done a superb job tonight. Sean, another candidate, just for how well he managed. I mean, he's had some bad luck. I think him and Phil G are sort of swapping it out for who gets the worst luck out of the two. Cheers for following, Gwyn. Hope you're enjoying your new kit. Let me get the replay saved. I'm not going to hang about, ladies and gents. I'm going to be putting the stream to close in just a moment because I need to go to bed. It's been one of those days. Yeah, D-Dot's left straight away. That either means he's going straight on to shoot someone, or he's had a bad race. So I say congratulations to, it was Buddy, Duco and Rob Scott, wasn't it? Yeah, so that's it. I'm not sure what track's next. You will no doubt see on Facebooks. So yeah, if you're interested in getting involved in this, join up on Facebook, Mature Racing Club. There will be a link in the YouTube description, but you can just search it on Facebook. It usually comes up if you just search Mature Racing Club. I'll throw links in the description to a couple of the other streamers and stuff as well, so you can go and show your support. And also a link to the newly founded We Are Driven Foundation, an initiative between a whole bunch of sim racing groups to do good in the community and as a whole as well, I guess. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. If you have, really do appreciate it. As always, tune in next week for more GT3 action. And yeah, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching, and take care of yourselves. Good night.